Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. We're still with Her Excellency Kadri Humal Ayal, who is the Honorary Consul of Estonia. And in our previous video, we were looking at the culture of Estonians and how they are so entrepreneurial in nature. And one of the things that you mentioned to me while it was off camera was the fact that, you know, the businesses that are started in schools by teenagers are not dummy businesses. They're actual businesses that run long after even they've left school, and you know they can start businesses then and then. They're not just for a school project, they're actual businesses. So the question I have sitting, or rather being here in Kenya, is I don't want to have to wait for the government to set this up for me, and because we don't know when that's going to happen, in terms of an environment that helps my children become entrepreneurial in their thinking. As a parent, how can we, or how can I start to instill some of this entrepreneurial culture and nature? Because they say Kenyans are entrepreneurial, but you know, I don't really, there's elements of entrepreneurship that I think we have, but we're not very innovative, I think. That's just my view. And we kind of are brought up, you know, with the knowledge of you just need to work hard and you get a good job. But you know, as you and I know, jobs are not there as much as they used to be, or as many as they used to be before. And we need more people to create these jobs. So what would you tell a parent who's listening on parenting their children in a way that helps their kids become entrepreneurial?
Sure, I think the first thing I would say is, if you bring up your children that they need to study hard and work hard so that they get a job, then that is a fallacy in itself. Because to slave your child already in their mind to work for somebody else, in my view, is wrong.
That's powerful, but continue. Wow. Because
children, if they are brought up to always look for solutions, if a child is brought up to say, if this is not working, how can I come up with something that would allow for this problem to be solved, for this to work? Because young people are a lot more creative than they are given credit for. And they are a lot more willing to take risks, and their spirit hasn't yet been killed off by people repeating to them, this can't be done, it's not possible, it won't work, don't even bother. And so given that, they will find solutions where there aren't any, because they still believe it's possible. And so it is very important for parents to encourage that. And I do feel that, in particular in Kenya, where indeed by its nature, the level of physical poverty that forces people to find ways to create things with very little, there is actually that creativity that, if it was encouraged as opposed to trampled on, a lot would be possible.
Okay. How do you institutionalize that in our environment, you know? So somebody is sitting in a position of influence, policy, for example. How can we start slowly institutionalizing that culture in Kenya? Whether that's a school owner, or now we're moving from parents, you know, a school owner, or, you know, even the government. How do you shift your thinking to finding ways of helping people look in themselves to find solutions for problems they're facing, without, you know, because let me just put it in context. When you see a problem that somebody's trying to solve, if you know the answer, you kind of want to solve it for them, but then you rob them the opportunity to solve it for themselves. So for example, if in Turkana there's a problem with water, and so the government will quickly rush and give relief food and not give the opportunity for those people to actually find ways to creatively find a solution that will last them a long time. Instead, you know, they intervene and then solve the problem, but it's a temporary solution. So I find we do that a lot, you know, band-aid solutions to problems. So I don't know what your thinking is around just institutionalizing that way of thinking for finding solutions.
Okay, I think first and foremost, the approach that if I am sitting somewhere outside outside Turkana,
Yeah.
outside the problem area, that my solution is the best to offer, is the approach that has been taken for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
It's the same approach that was taken by the colonial powers who came to solve problems in Kenya for Kenyans, who still go with the same mentality that we come with the solution and you, the local community, better accept our solution. It continues to then leave the community always with the thinking that I will never solve it because I'm from here. People who come to solve need to come from outside. And so first and foremost, the entire approach of where the solution needs to come from needs to shift. And I think in Kenya, one of the very good steps forward in that line is, of course, devolution, where the government has moved from Nairobi to all the 47 counties. And so already that devolution has also offered devolution in solutions to the various problems.
Yeah.
But then, yes, indeed, further from there, it would be then a matter of looking at what kind of solution is provision of water. Is that actually the necessary solution there? Because you see, the moment you come from the perspective that people must have A, B, C, D, who determines those A, B, C, D?
Yeah.
Do you determine those sitting in Nairobi, or sitting in Brussels, or sitting in Beijing? Who determines what people must have? And would that solution in reality move them into the 22nd century, or is that a solution based on the past?
Yeah, that's a good point. So the solution needs to come from the people and where they are at, because they understand the problems anyway.
And to find a solution that looks forward, not back.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. And if you haven't watched the previous videos, I would really encourage you to do that. Continue watching. Next, I want to hear about investors looking to invest in Kenya. And we'll get into that in our next video. Please keep watching and share these videos. If you have any questions, please write them in our comment section. Take care.